Hello, Mary and Julia. Thank you for being with us. Your voices are going to add such an amazing perspective to the work that we're doing now, bringing mindfulness champions into every school in Miami-Dade County. And as educators that have been through our programs already and are bringing mindfulness into the schools that you work in, we would really love to hear your perspective on what that experience is like for you.
I've been a Miami-Dade County public school teacher for the past 30 years. I teach in Homestead. And as far as my background with mindfulness, I have taken the MBSR class, which is the mindfulness based stress reduction class with Mindful Kids Miami, as well as the mindfulness teaching training program as well.
I'm Julie Holden. I'm teaching at Hialeah High School. I've been there for now going on 34 years. I was able to do training with stress reduction and teacher training. I teach physical education, but I also teach a class called Personal Career and School Development. And I've incorporated mindfulness into the classroom, and it has been very well received by all the students.
My favorite practice is just really mindful breathing with the students. And when I allow them to take part, to take ownership of ringing the bell, of being the leader, then it makes wonders and the students enjoy it immensely.
The personal career school development class was really based on growth mindset. The mindfulness just played right into that. So we worked with my students to establish a routine that started with mindfulness every day, and that the expectation of mindfulness every day came a desire for mindfulness every day in the classroom.
Here at Mandarin Lakes, you really have to come in with being very grounded. These children are loving children, but they come from very difficult circumstances. We live right next to the homeless shelter. A lot of our kids are migrant camps. 95% are free and reduced lunch, and they have witnessed a lot of trauma. With me having my own mindfulness, my own, and embodying it every single day, when I do step into the room, I come in with compassion. And when I'm allowed to show them that compassion, it brings down their guard as well. And they perform better. They want to do because they know that somebody is authentic and that they care. With me embodying that, I can sit in that and know that my practice will bring calm amongst everything that may be going on within the environment.
The power of the ing words and being mindful of how we say things to the students. I do my practice privately, but then doing it and sharing it and modeling it really brought it home for the students. Even up until the last day of school, we're still going to do this today. And every day we do it at the same, and the expectation was there and very welcome. So the students learned that resiliency by learning how to practice mindfulness. Just seeing how the students brought mindfulness into moments of challenge was so enlightening, because there were times where I was frustrated and they could see it, and I took a moment and adjusted, and then they did the same when they had something. And at the end of our class, with this class being personal school and career development, we actually did a job interview where they had to dress up and pretend like they were going into an interview. And one of the interview questions was, how do you handle stress? So many of the students responded that I learned mindfulness this year, and so now I've learned how to just stop for a moment and focus on my breath. So that was kind of a teacher goosebump moment, and nice to see that they really made a change.
The first thing that we do is mindfulness. And we do a lot of the tree poses. And the beautiful thing is, I'm outside. So
Mm.
the birds serenade us. And so when my kids come in and they sit and they're listening, putting on their mindful listening ears. They're like, oh, wow, listen to that bird. And that's something that really makes my heart go pity pat, because our children don't have that opportunity to just slow down.
Mhm.
And now, when I bring this into my classroom, when they're sitting, they're just enjoying the present moment. And there's nothing like it where they're not like, what's next? What's for lunch? What's this, that, and the other? And they're just understanding that, okay, I can use this here. And then when we take a test, for instance, we took the state test, and the kids, they knew going in, let me just settle myself, let me just breathe. And they pretty much are able to do that groundwork on their own, from being just instructed and doing it on a continuous basis. So they see it in the cafeteria, they see it all over the school. And that's what I'm excited about, to see how this can really transform not only my classroom, but the school at large, and then the community.
So if you were to have any kind of advice that you were going to give to mindfulness champions, that, we have people that are being trained that of all different levels. Some of the champions are going to be designated that have already gone through multiple programs like you have. And then there might be other champions where might be one of their first times learning about mindfulness. And some schools are very on board and already have programs in place. And some schools are at very limited capacity to be able to do this work, or maybe don't have that kind of buy-in as much. And so part of what we're doing here is bringing these champions into the schools so that they can really take a look at their school and figure out how can we make the best use of what we have available to us in this moment to bring mindfulness into the schools. And if you had a piece of advice that you can give to any of those teachers, going into the school, what would that be?
Definitely be patient with yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day. And there's an old African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I do believe it takes a village, an entire school, to raise successful children. And not one person can do it alone. So, with that being said, there is a wellness team already established in every school that I would highly recommend that they go to that team and see if they can implement these strategies. With the wellness team, it goes into with the nutrition, it goes in with the PE teacher, and everybody pretty much has to buy in order for it to really take flight. So I would highly recommend start learning more for yourself, learning really what is this about, and start where you are, and allow others and encourage others to really come on board with that wellness team and do this for not only the school, but our children, because they are so well deserving of everything that life has to offer.
Don't be afraid to start. Some people say, I don't know how to do mindfulness. How am I going to teach mindfulness? But just being willing to look into it and discuss it with people that have already brought it into their classroom, into their own lives. I'm fortunate at our school, we've actually made it a part of our school improvement plan. We have a faculty fitness team that we get together and work out, but we include mindfulness with that. Give it a try. Don't be afraid to start.
Yeah, and we're here to support you. Part of what we're doing here is building not just this one training, but also a network. And so we'll be here every step of the way as an organization, and also all of the other teachers in the network, because again, it takes the whole village. Thank you so much for being with us.